Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, Stampin' Up independent demonstrator. Today I am bringing you this card. This is using the stamp set Oh So Eclectic from the annual catalogue. Remember the annual catalogue? I think some of us forget it exists. Anyway, this is from the annual catalogue Oh So Eclectic stamp set. This is the set. Now there are dies that come with this set. I keep thinking I've got them and I keep finding I haven't. But many of the images are actually really easy to cut out. So I'm going to show you what I did. I've also used the leaf punch from the autumn winter catalogue. This is still available. I don't know whether it's going to be available in the annual catalogue yet, but certainly at the moment this is still available. So if you want it, you just go onto my online store and look under punches and you will find it there. So yeah, and I'll list it on my blog, obviously. So if you need the item number, it will be over on my blog, which is linked immediately below, straight through to this project. So I'm also using something else from the annual catalogue, because we do have an annual catalogue, and that is the Colour Theory paper, which comes in Berry Burst, Dapper Denim, Old Olive and Crushed Curry in a pack, and it's got all sorts of faded paint chips, those sorts of things, and crackle paint. So this is obviously the Dapper Denim version. I'm going to go through making a Berry Burst version with you now. So the first thing I need is some scraps of Whisper White, and these are just scraps. So I'm going to take the outline image first and just ink that up. Oh, that's not quite in camera. Ink that up with Berry Burst ink, and I need 3 of these. Probably need to re-ink my ink pad as well because it's looking a little dry. On the subject of which, Dapper Denim is one of the 16 2018 in colours. So as is Emerald Envy, Peekaboo Peach, Sweet Sugar Plum, and Flirty Flamingo. So if you want any of those colours, I'm just inking up the larger background stamp for the flower. Just going to test the colour. Yep. So if you want any of the 2016-2018 in colours, in either ink pads or ink pad refills, very important. I'm going to use this again without re-inking. Then I would jump over to my online store and do that sooner rather than later. Ditto if you want card, embellishments, ribbon, anything that is in colours. I highly recommend you get it now. I'm just going to cut these out while I'm talking to you. So, yes, the sooner you get it, the sooner you got it. There will come a point, don't know when it will be, but kind of late April, early May, I would imagine, when Stampin' Up will announce that they are not going to restock the in colours. There will also be similar announcements about any of the retiring items. It's a little early to worry about those, but I really would worry about the in colours sooner rather than later, because they will disappear. And I know there was a mad rush for Mint Macaron last year, particularly in re-inker. That went out of stock really quite early. Not the same in all regions, but certainly as far as the UK was concerned, it went out of stock really early. I'm going to cut, like I have with this, I'm going to cut to the edge of the outline flower rather than the printed infill flower. So they will all be about the same size. Now there is a die that will do this if you've got the die set, and there's another point at the moment, because this is an current on your catalogue item. If you buy the dies and the stamp set together at the same time using the bundle code, then you get 10% off. So do bear that in mind. Anything that you have your eyes on that is a bundle at the moment, even if it carries over, it will not be a bundle. It may be available in the new annual catalogue when it eventually comes in June. I can't believe I'm talking about the new annual catalogue already. But if there is anything that you have your eye on and you want it at a bundle price, or it's a retiring 2016-2018 in colour, now is the ideal moment to get it, because we're in the middle of Celebration. Still, we're in the last month of it, but we're in the middle of it, Celebration. So now is the moment to buy all those bits that you've been looking to get, and then you get free product as well. So jump over to my online store and, as they say, fill your boots. So as you see, those were not exactly difficult to cut out. I've got a piece of Berry Burst, which I have cut in half and scored down the middle. So this will make a standard A6 card, or it will if I fold it properly. So standard A6 card, same idea if you're in North America. Just fold your 8.5 by 11, cut it in half and fold it down the middle. And you'll get a similar sort of size. It will be slightly different. Yours will be shorter and fatter. The dimensions for the metric cardstock version will be over on my blog, which is linked below. That's where I always put dimensions. And occasionally I can find my snail. Right, so snail. It is only paper, so we just need snail. It's a permanent adhesive. It's not ideal for box making, but it is perfectly good for sticking designer series paper to card. So we will. There we go. Okay, right. Just got to do a little bit of stamping on here to add a bit of texture. So again, I've got my Berry Burst, and actually while we're at it, we'll do the stamping for the inside of the card, because for once I have actually done the inside of the card. So Berry Burst with the little cross pattern, and all I'm doing is adding a bit of texture, I suppose, would be the good word for it, just in the bottom corner, well, towards the bottom corner. So that is that done. Let's clean that off. And I'm using on the inside of the card the You're Just Lovely. There's a choice of I like you, oh hello friend, missing you, and You're Just Lovely. So I'm going to stick with the You're Just Lovely, which is what I did on the Dapper Denim version. And then just pop that in the middle of the card and turn it over because I over-inked. It's just as well there's an emergency side, isn't there? That's better. So that's that. Then I've also got the solid leaf, but it's not really solid. So it's like these flower kind of donuts. It's like a newsprint. It's pixelated. So just ink that up, and still full strength. Stamp that down because it's not really full strength because it's pixelated. So that's that done. So that's all of the stamping done. So I can get rid of my ink before I do a mischief with it. And I can pop the middle into the middle. And no one but you will know that I did a boo-boo on the first version or first attempt at stamping the sentiment. So there we go. Pop that in here. Yep. So that's that. I do love that the colours go together, even with the designer series paper. It's just brilliant. Right, okay, so we've got, they're not hugely different, but they're slightly different. So I am going to layer these with card, with card, they are card, with liquid glue. I'm just going to put a spot in the middle and just layer those one on top of, sort of next to each other. And I'm not worried that there's this funny splodge in the middle, because we're going to cover that up. Dimensionals, which I put right in front of me so I couldn't find. And they'll go on the back of this one, which will go down on top of the two we've got. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab some of the glitter. Now what do we call them? It's slightly sad, isn't it? We call them, those are clear faceted gems. There we are. So these were originally kind of for the daisy suite, and they work beautifully as the centre of daisies, but they work beautifully as the centre of all flowers. So let's use them on the centre of these flowers. So there we go, that's that. Then I need some ribbon. I used the grosgrain ribbon for the Dapper Denim, because that's the ribbon that we've got in Dapper Denim. There's a choice of ribbon in Berry Burst. I always said I didn't like, when I first saw the crinkled seam binding ribbon, I said I hated it, was never going to buy it, it was horrible, don't know why they thought it was a good idea, and now, needless to say, I have it in a selection of colours, because I love it. So that just shows what I know. But it ties the most beautiful bows, because it's a soft ribbon, and it also means that because it's already crinkled, and it's obvious that it's meant to be crinkled, when you put it in an envelope, it doesn't matter if it gets a little bit more crinkled. So it's actually perfect. So, and I just did one of my bunny ear bows for that. So 2 loops, and just trim that end off. Oh, and do the same with this one. I need to get my scissors sharpened, or just buy a new pair, they're not expensive, particularly because I'm a demonstrator, I get a discount. And remember, you don't have to demonstrate to be a demonstrator, you just have to love products and want a discount, really. Right, so the leaf punch, I've got champagne foil. Again, it has carried over from the autumn winter catalogue, and I quite like that it's not quite as brash as silver, and it's not quite as gold, if that seems reasonable. Glue dots, and so while we're on the subject of buying stuff, as I say, remember during Celebration, for every £45 you spend, you can get a free item. If we've got some items that are what I call level 2 items, and those are free if you spend £90, but you just spend in multiples. You don't have to place an order of £45 and another order of £45. You can just spend multiples of £45, which therefore saves on postage, because in the UK it's the same postage whether you order one multi-purpose glue or whether you order £500 of product. So you might as well order lots. Right, and one down at the bottom. And that means you get more stamping rewards, and during Celebration, if you place an order of £200 or more, you get an additional £20 of rewards. So what's not to love about that? And there we are. 2 really pretty cards, and it's almost like the male and female version. So yes, do pop over to my online store and order any products that you need. I really try and look after my customers, so if you use the Hostess Code, if you're spending between £25 and £150, then I share any rewards amongst everyone who's used that code. And at the moment, of course, we get, if it's a £200 order for the whole workshop order, which it is, then I get an extra £20 to spend. Always a good idea. And I spend those on my customers. So for February shoppers, they have got a full price stamp set. So not one of the hostess sets, it's a proper full price stamp set, because that's their share of the hostess rewards. And they also get a handmade gift and a handmade card. And the gift could be all sorts of things. It could be a notebook, it could be something, you know, in the confectionery line, all sorts of bits and pieces I sort out. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you don't already subscribe to my mailing list and you're in the UK, if you subscribe between now and the end of March, I will enter you into a draw for a mini craft kit. I haven't completely finalised what that's going to have in it, but there will be lots of goodies. So that's on my blog, linked below, right at the very bottom of the blog post. If you are not on your mobile, it's not visible if you're on your mobile, so you need to be on a proper connection. If you don't already subscribe to this channel, there's a little subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye!